What's up, guys? Welcome to the Unstuck Podcast. And today we're talking about, is it worth trying to get men to heal? Let me make sure that I'm in a relaxed position because this is going to be good. Okay, so is it worth trying to get men to heal? Absolutely. Is it easy trying to get men to heal? No, but I want to shine some light on something. When we think about healing, apart from society, we often skip the part that healing is a journey, right? It's not a one-time thing. Healing is also something that has to be welcomed by the person, right? No person is going to just heal on their own. It's not like if you get like a scrape on your body or something like that, where over time it would just heal, or like maybe like a fracture, something like that. Inner healing, that's the healing we're talking about, takes time, it takes layers, and it takes the person welcoming that. Now, I'm just going to just give you why I think it's harder at times to see men heal, and then you guys can go ahead in the comments and let me know your ideas. Number one, I think most men don't ever feel seen. I'm not saying all, but I think in general, most men don't feel seen. Number two, I don't believe most men feel that they're heard. I believe they know someone's listening but heard. Stephen Covey wrote the book Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and in the book he talks about seeking to understand, then to be understood. So I don't believe most men are actually heard. And then number three, I don't believe people give men enough time to get to the place where they actually want to heal. I'm always reminded when I think about healing with men as like um, a villain and a hero. It could be any given story. Let's use the Dark Knight Rises, for example. I'm probably gonna go watch that movie in a couple of seconds because I love it. Dark Knight Rises, right? You get two people. You get Batman and you get Bane in this movie. They're both men, and they're both actually from the same team, tribe, or community called the League of Shadows. They're from this master called Razagor. Now they're both from this this person, both from the same community, but they both have two different experiences. Two different things have happened to them, or how they start to see life has happened differently. Now, everyone knows Batman because he's the hero. Everyone's seeing him conquer, seeing him fight the bad guys. They're seeing him do all of these mighty things. So they praise him for that, and they actually they praise him for that, and they want him to keep doing those things until he stops. He stops, and all of a sudden, no one's seeing him anymore. So everyone's now they're just talking junk about him, and all sorts of things. You can see right there that even in this story of a superhero, he was once like popping. He was once seen, once like in the light. As soon as he left, people just write him off. I believe that happens with men a lot with like jobs and things they were good at. If you listen to men who are former athletes talk a lot, they usually talk a lot about what they did in high school as athletes. I was a former D1 person. I was dunking when I was nine, all sorts of things. Now, on the flip side, also with Batman, he's also Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne, as soon as he goes broke and he stopped giving to charity, no one sees him anymore, no one hears from him anymore, and he becomes like this isolated figure who no one even cares about anymore. I believe men face that too. Now, on the flip side, we have the guy Bane. Bane is a villain in this story, but in the whole grand scheme of things, he's a man facing the same things. He makes a statement, and I'll get back into how I see how we can help men healing. He makes a statement in the beginning of the movie. He says, "No one cared about who I was until I put on the mask. No one cared who I was until I put on the mask," which basically means until I started causing trouble or started causing ruckus, nobody cared about who I was. We see a lot in society that men are having to compare themselves with men on social media, men who are only doing big things, and after a while will start to wear on a man. It will start to wear him to think that, hey, I'm not worth anything, and if he doesn't think he's worth anything, we can throw the whole healing thing out of the window. So, how do we get to a point where we actually can see men heal, can see men have emotional breakthrough and be whole again? Number one, we have to start looking at people as people and not machines. You are a person not just for what you're productive doing or what you do for the world, but just as a person, you are a person and you're valuable. I think at times we usually only put people in this category as this is Drew, the trainer. This is Jason, the block. This is Kim, the block. We put people in these categories and we categorize them by what they can do, not who they are. So we have to start seeing men as machines. Number two, and I don't want to use the word because it gets so overcrowded, safe spaces. We have to put men in environments where they are encouraged and empowered to open up versus told they should open up. By now, you probably know if you tell a man what he has to do, he's probably not going to go do it. But if he's in an environment where he's empowered and encouraged to do that, it's a lot easier. What would an environment like that look like? Hey, maybe we're all getting together to go start watching a football game, right? And then we have a 10-minute talk after. It has to be something where the bonding can first be something that they can be vulnerable about. That's not something that's digging immediately. Football game, fitness, something that we do. It can be a book club, whatever you want to think that thing could be that would get men to even come. That starts it, right? They're not gonna just come and automatically tell you they hate their father. They feel bad because of what happened in their childhood. That's not going to happen immediately. So, number one, we have to start looking at men as people, not machines. Number two, we have to start creating empowering environment and encouraging them to open up, right? Open up may not be the deep thing at first, but I guarantee you, if you allow him to keep coming back and to keep talking, he will open up. Men will open up. Number three is one I learned recently is do it in smaller groups. We're sometimes drawn to big crowds, and nothing's wrong with a big crowd, but I think sometimes we forget that maybe two or three men together may be powerful. Maybe 1 to 3 men just talking about life, doing a little bit of life together. Maybe that can be powerful, and then you can bring on people. But if you get a room full of 50 men, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to open up at a deeper level. Possible, but a little bit harder. Now, I'm going to say, of course, it's easier to help a younger man, probably easier than an older man. But what do we want to do? Just throw the older man out? No, we want to be able to help both of them. That can be through various ways, like games, hobbies. Uh, Fishing used to be one for a lot of men. A lot of men like football games. Whatever it is to bring them to start being vulnerable in the good parts of their lives, I believe strongly it would open up them to be vulnerable about the harder areas of their lives. But there's hope. There's definitely hope. And if we think there's not hope, then we might be part of that problem. So with that being said, visit us, drewcost.com. We do things to help men out, to help them heal, build a relationship with God, and build a relationship with their brothers. And we want to see men heal because men are going to help our families, our churches, our nation, and so forth. And they deserve it. Men deserve to heal. I think I have a hoodie on that says men deserve to heal. Be great, guys. I'm out of here.